So we're going to do we've bulked up the person. This is my little, like, child-sized one. So what you need for doing paper mache is going to be a piece of little plastic or a piece of garbage bag, something to put down underneath your person so that later, like when it's wet, you can kind of like hammock it to the shelf where you're going to put it. It also helps with cleanup. So I've got a container. This is the 50-50 glue and water mix. Somebody left it on the table yesterday, so I'm using this one. If you get it on the table, just wipe it up with some paper towel because that's what you're going to be using. You can also use newspaper, but you want to tear it in strips. So like, you squeegee the excess off with your fingers. If you've got texture issues and you want to wear gloves, I do have some by the Vent Hood. So I'm wrapping this. I'm starting with the head. I just find it's easier. Tear, dip. Get it thoroughly coated, get front and back. You want to do at least 3 layers, if not more. I go one direction, so I went horizontally for this one. I'm gonna go vertically. And when you smooth this down, you don't want like big honking wrinkles, so smooth it out as much as you can, because those will show. And the more you work on smoothing it out as you go, the nicer it will be when you do your finish work. So smooth things out. Like if you've got wrinkles and then you put another layer on, it's just going to keep that wrinkle. So smooth it down. Take the time to do it. You can kind of smoosh things together as you're going too. Like if you need to compress stuff, you can kind of like smoosh a bit. So I'm going to smoosh here around the neck. I know that's really a technical term, but so if you've got like wrinkles coming up, smooth them down. Take a little glue on your fingers and do that, because you do want to take the time to get it well covered. So again, like sort of alternate horizontal and vertical. So like right here where that wrinkle is, I want to kind of smooth it out. Take your time. It really is important. Like I say that and people get impatient, but it's important to take your time, especially with like where you're going to have your details. So especially like face and things like that. Or if you are doing some sort of like body, or you have a specific character in mind and you need the details in a certain section, take the time to really smooth things out. Don't like go crazy and rush through, because the result that you get is not going to be as good as it could be. And honestly, sometimes the smaller the piece you use, the less wrinkling you get. So if you find that you're going across something and it's getting wrinkly, tear off, because there's nothing that says that you have to use an entire strip. Like you can take this and lay it in smaller pieces, like a patchwork. Because like as you go, you can see how I can smooth things in around the curve. So like if you want to work in smaller pieces, there's nothing that says that you can't. So like I want this to kind of smooth down, and I want to cover these wrinkles. So see how that like covers that right up? And it's a lot smoother than it was. So like even where I've got these wrinkles in back, I keep going. So like smooth it down. So just work on getting things coated and smooth. Like, see where these are, like, I'm gonna take the time to go in there. So tear your pieces. You can put a whole strip in, or you can do it piece by piece, small pieces. I'm doing the back of the head here, so I wanna, it's Hawaiian Day, so I've got some Hawaiian music on. Well, Pacific Islands music. It's not specifically Hawaiian. So, like, I don't want to wrap this all the way around. So literally, I can just hold one end down and tear it. It's like a little toupee. So I've got some wrinkles over here on the side. I want to take a little piece and cover that. Get it all smoothed down. Okay, if you do end up with wrinkles, get them smoothed out before they dry, because they are very, very crunchy when they dry. And it's like trying to bend a potato chip. It does not work that way. So take your time. If you're gonna have wrinkles, get them in back so that eventually it will get covered by like whatever you do for hair. But I would recommend getting those out of there. I'm gonna take this little strip and kind of wrap it around the neck area. Kind of define this. Oh, there's a little open space. Be on the lookout for holes, because you want to make sure they're covered. And again, you want to make sure you have at least 3 layers. So to make sure that I have that, I'm going to fold this over and kind of get it smoothed down. I don't like how that those wrinkles are there. So take your time. It's not an instantaneous process. 2 to 3 layers. And cover those, smooth down. I'm still working on this same piece of paper towel that I tore. And it doesn't matter whether you soak it all at once or you go back to it. But take your time. There's nothing that says you have to coat everything all in one fell swoop. And if it tears, it's okay. So I'm just smoothing this down, especially where I had those little wrinkles around the bottom. Because again, I want to not have wrinkles. In the face area, so that I have a really nice surface for doing details. So Like on bigger spaces like the trunk of the body, I usually work my way from the extremities, like the ends of the hands, and then work my way up toward the body, just because if you start at the body and then you do the arms, you'll have like a seam almost. So if I do the ends of the hands, so even if I'm kind of messy with this part, I'm gonna kind of smoosh it and then fold to like make a little like glove almost at the end of the hand. See, it ripped right there, but that's okay. Because then I've got the end of the hand covered already. I can take this part, I'm gonna smoosh the wrist a little bit. Kind of bring this in. And don't try to cover the arms and then bend them. I am going to, before this dries, getting some hair in here. It's okay, it'll be covered. Before this dries, I'm going to get it positioned how I want it. So I'm gonna bend this arm, but it's way easier to coat with it unbent. And then once you have that coating, at least a couple layers, then you can bend it so that you know that you have it coated. And then you can smooth out any like random spots. So keep that in mind. Smooshy, smoosh, smoosh, squeegee. I'm gonna unfold this again so it's easier here. But see where the seam kind of comes in for the top of the arm? You want to make sure that you can blend that into the body. So that's why I do sort of from the fingers up. See how wrinkly that is? I don't want to leave it that way. So that can be part of the first layer, but don't let that dry that way. Make sure you go in and you add a nice smooth top coat. Nice smooth top coat. I'm gonna do this